Hello everyone, I want to talk about capacitor. Welcome back to my channel. Um, Capacitor is an electronics component which store electrical energy and they release it when needed. So that is the work of capacitor. So the capacitor is already in every electronic gadget in terms of television, fan, radio, home theater, all types of electronics. You must able to find capacitor, and we have different type of capacitor depending on what we are using it for. So capacitor here is very good and is able to stabilize any DC current of the output. So that's why they use capacitor, and it can also be used for DC voltage, because mostly it's for DC voltage. So as a technician, how can you identify faulty capacitor that is faulty? Sometimes in electronics, you can even see it physically. So capacitor may have blow off. You can might blow off, so you will see the damage on the capacitor body sometimes. And sometimes the electronics devices may not be working properly. It may on and off. Sometimes electronics can even shut down completely because of capacitor. And in terms of amplifier sound system, it cannot in most time it cannot make the sound to come out clearly. You understand? So the sound cannot be cleared. So or the sound will not be there will not be output of sound. It cannot amplify any output. So all those things that make sure that the audio devices cannot work. Also, e also apply for fan too. This fan capacitor I'm holding, so it make the fan to rotate very well and very fast. If the capacitor of the fan too goes down, the fan too will not be working properly. So capacitor is very important. It make the voltage to stable. Any output voltage e stable it and release it slowly. So now these are the real definition of capacitor. Capacitor come with different types and shape. You see, all these one I'm pointing here, they are all capacitor depending on the kind of work they are using. Most of these capacitor filter sound. It make the sound to go come out clearly. You understand? Because it filter all the sound. So what of all these things now is to make sure the electronic devices is working properly. That's why you see all those capacitors, they are all available. Devices may not be having a unstable current. All the current that is passing will all be stable. So capacitors are the one that are able to store charge and release it very slowly. So that is the work of capacitor. So if you understand this video so far, you will understand the uses of capacitor. And then if you want to identify the fault of capacitor, you can also use your multimeter to test if the capacitor is good or not. This kind of capacitor, I will able to show you a video that I will able to put it for a electrical current directly and spark it together. If it spark together, that is working. If not spark together, it's not working. All this one you can able to identify what capacitor is all about. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for my next video.